Hey soldiers, we are being presented with the greatest wealth building opportunity of a lifetime. Generations go by and people don't see what is being presented to us right now. We're at an inflection point. The United States of America is broke. Everybody knows it. But yet and still there is something there for us. We can thrive throughout this turmoil of financial mismanagement, economic malfeasance. Thanks to the policymakers. Listen, we're at 34, you might as well go ahead and say $34 trillion in debt, not counting the unfunded liabilities. An impossible situation. And guess what that has led to? It's led to countries like China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and others saying, no, we're just not in the mood. We're not going to buy any more of your debt, United States of America. This is a tremendous vote of no confidence, and I'm going to show you how. Through this, there is an opportunity for us. All right, here recently, the United States tried to borrow $24 billion by issuing 30-year treasury bills. And look, it just didn't go the way they planned. It was an absolute disaster. The usual suspects that buy our debt have basically said, you know what, let's just instead register a vote of no confidence in the United States. They've got a lot of political turmoil. They can't control crime in their streets. They don't know the difference between a man and a woman. They're spending like there is absolutely no tomorrow, and they're running around the world participating in all kinds of conflicts and also, financing other conflicts. So this looks a little weird. Is this the kind of place we want to borrow money from? That's the question that these countries are asking. So it didn't go well. The $24 billion that they were trying to come by, actually 25% of that had to come from lenders of last resort, those that are obligated to purchase that debt in the event that the sale doesn't attract other buyers. So we racked up $1.5 trillion in the last month. That's part of what these other countries are seeing and saying, well, they have to just print money willy-nilly. I mean, what the hell is going on? Also, we got a president that doesn't even, I doubt if he knows his name before 10 a.m. So here we are. And that's going to cause interest rates to continue to rise. If we can't finance our debt, we're going to see interest rates rise. And we're also in a weird place where inflation just will not abate. Okay, so we being the American public are going to be hit with a situation where a lot of people are going to find it really tough to hold on to their assets, and in so doing, they are going to have to sell assets. In a moment, we're going to touch on how you can exploit this situation for the financial benefit of you and your family. But before we do that, understand that these interest rates going up are also going to raise credit card interest rates on those variable cards. It's going to make financing a new car more expensive. It's going to make mortgages. We're probably going to see more mortgage interest rates shoot past 9%. Haven't seen that in a long time, right? So anybody that's exposed to variable interest rates of any sort are, going to be wanting to try and find a way to refinance that and lock that in order to shield themselves from what we will be seeing. In addition to these increases in interest rates, we're also going to see increases in taxation. Okay, because the United States is getting into that environment that I warned you about. I said that at some point, the U.S. was not going to be able to finance its debt using other countries to the tune that it has. And we were going to see them turn inward, them being the policymakers, turn inward and say, well, we got to get that money from somewhere. U.S. citizen, I guess we'll raise interest rates. I guess we'll raise taxes. Okay, so it becomes incumbent upon us to figure out how to shield ourselves from future taxation. I'm a broken record on it, guys, because it's coming. We always talk about that Roth IRA and permanent life insurance. I don't care what anybody tells you, because a lot of people out here will talk about the cost of insurance. As I've said before, Every place that you decide to put your money, even if you decide to put it under your mattress, there will be a cost associated with it. If you keep all of your money in the floorboards of your home, the cost you will pay is in inflation. All right. So wherever you put your money, there's going to be a cost, and you get what you pay for. So there is a cost associated with permanent life insurance. And guess what? You get 3 very important tax benefits from that. The ability to grow that money unencumbered by taxation, the ability to access that money unencumbered by taxation if you do it right, and then the ability to transfer that money to your heirs unencumbered by taxation. Now, with insurance, there's also that final benefit as well. So 3 very important tax benefits and 1 final benefit to help perpetuate generational wealth. All right. So those 2 vehicles are the main ones that you can use to set up a shelter from the coming tax storm. All right. Now, how can you? Okay, so we got our shelter set up. Now we need to go out and kill a mastodon so we can have something to eat, right? So we can eat off of that mastodon for generations, right? So we need to go out and target some assets that are going to be at fire. They're going to be set up at fire sale prices here. Don't believe me? Well, check out what happened in the city of Baltimore just a couple of months ago. We talked about this on the channel. A 30-story office building located at 1 South Street sold for a fraction of its value, the value that it demanded in 2015. Back then, it sold for $66 million. Now, in June, to be specific, June of 2023, the building sold not for 70 million. You know, you think it's going to appreciate, not for 100 million. No, the building that sold for, demanded a price of $66 million in 2015, sold in June of 2023 for $24 million. So that's roughly a 66%, somewhere in there, 65% decrease in value. Now, why is this happening? Well, for a variety of reasons. Number one, the work from home trend. Okay, people are not keen on, bringing all these people together in an office building when technology can allow them to work remotely and you can reduce your expenses as a business. You don't have to rent this Class A office space to the tune that you were renting it. And then we see, because we've seen it in San Francisco as well, we see these high crime areas where people are saying, look, we don't need to be here. In the city of Baltimore, for example, there aren't as many amenities to the working class person, that white collar person like I used to be, sit up in the office, and at lunchtime you had all of these choices. You could say, hey, honey, come down at 5. I'm going to get off and we can go to dinner. We can go to a show. That Baltimore does not exist anymore. They're talking about this whole Baltimore harbor revitalization. You can build anything you want, Baltimore, until you get that crime situation under control. People are not going to patronize it like they were in the 80s and 90s. Ain't going to happen. So that, the crime piece, the work from home piece, are having a real world material effect. One that you may be able to benefit from. Now, with real estate, I don't know how many people are into purchasing Class A office space, but there are. We talked about fractional real estate opportunities out there. Look, you're purchasing it at 65% less, okay? Some of these cities are even talking about taking Class A office space and turning it into some sort of housing, okay? I don't know. But those are the kinds of values that we're going to see out there. Those are the kinds of opportunities we're going to see out there. We're going to see opportunities for businesses that need partnerships because they're exposed to high interest debt. They don't want to go out of business. They got customers. It's just that things are more expensive. So they're going to need some financing. Okay. Now with all of this, you've got to do your due diligence. Some stocks are going to offer discounts and won't appreciate as fast, giving you an opportunity to jump on board. Do your due diligence. People are going to be selling things like gold and silver and may bring the prices of those down, but you got to be careful, especially with gold, because in times of turmoil, it usually stays pretty expensive. And I would say that 2023 going into 2024 is a time of turmoil. Listen, pay down your high interest debt where you can. Talk to like-minded individuals about this opportunity that we're being presented with. Do your due diligence to find out if there are some opportunities that you're ready to start researching in order to take advantage of and make some money, because it's a well-known adage, you know, when there's blood in the street, it's time to buy, okay? Unfortunately, that's where we're at, but this channel's dedicated to helping us come out on top financially. So we have to identify these opportunities and then exploit them. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.